Hello and welcome to Monday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, and something of a rarity here on the channel today, at least in modern times. This puzzle on the screen, believe it or not, is a normal Thermo Sudoku with no additional rules at all. I mean, just think about that. If you're not familiar with what Thermo Sudoku is, basically it just means the digits have to increase as you go from the bulb to the tip of the thermometer. And there are only 4 thermometers in this grid. How are they? Are they all the same length? They look like they're about 7 long. Yeah, so they might all be the same length. So apparently, and this is the work of Blashyrkh, who is, well, I think has sort of made a name for themselves as just the sort of the doyen of Thermo Sudoku. Blashyrkh's puzzles, I've definitely done several Blashyrkh puzzles on the channel, and I want to say they were all Thermo Sudoku, but I'm not sure any of them were quite as ludicrous as this one. It's called Hooked on Sudoku, I guess because there's maybe there's 2 hooks. I was going to say there's a hook in the grid in the shape of a thermo. But it's really remarkable. I mean, some of you out there will have attempted to set Thermo Sudoku, and I think you would agree that this feels very, very minimalistic. And apparently it is wonderful. It's got beautiful, beautiful logic. So I'm looking forward to having a go at this. Although I think it's got 4 stars out of 5 for difficulty, so it might be challenging. We shall see. But I will use this as an opportunity to actually just mention, I don't talk about our apps very much, and I probably ought to talk about them more, because we all play games on our devices, and our apps are very, very different to the standard Sudoku apps that you will see. If you type in Sudoku into the App Store or into Android, you will get a whole host of absolute nonsenses. What's the difference between a Cracking the Cryptic app and a normal app? Well, all of the puzzles in our apps are handmade, and you'll immediately feel the difference. It just makes all the difference, because all of the puzzles have been designed to have a logical path. So our Thermo Sudoku app is a great example of a very, very nice app full of 100 puzzles. They start off easy, they get much more difficult towards the end, and definitely check that out. If you enjoy doing Sudoku or solving puzzles on a phone or an iPad, you will honestly not find better out there. Now, what other news did I need to mention? Do have a go at Paws Sudoku Hunt, which is our July reward. That is out there. Loads and loads of you have been enjoying that. The feedback has been that this is an easier pack of puzzles, so this is very suitable if you're new to Sudoku hunts or new to variant Sudoku at all. You probably will be able to get through all of the puzzles in this hunt with just a few hours of work, and you will really enjoy the experience. So big thanks to Paws on creating something that so many people are loving, and do check it out. It's over on Patreon right now. I don't have any birthdays to do today. It's a rarity, so why don't we just kick straight into it and have a look at Hooked on Sudoku by Blashyrkh. These are the very short rules, 2 sentences of rules today. Normal Sudoku rules apply, which means we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. And then digits along a thermometer increase from the bulb end. So if this square here, I suppose we can't make the bulbs too big because we'll run out of space. So I think 4 is going to be too big, isn't it? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so let's make this a 2. If this was a 2, this just has to be bigger than 2. It doesn't have to be 3. So it could be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's how a thermometer could work. So just as in the real world, mercury rises as the temperature rises, so along Sudoku thermometers must digits rise as we move away from the bulb end. And it's a very warm day today, which is a rarity. So summer is here, and yeah, do have a go at this puzzle. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. And actually, when I double click this, and this is the wonderful thing about Sven's software, if you double click it, somehow the software now knows that all these thermometers are the same length. And that means that we can pencil mark them. Mark would approve of this. Because they're so long, we may as well. Because we can't put more than a 3 in the bulb, so we can sort of just step our way up the thermometers. Hopefully I'm not butchering this, but that is the initial pencil marking we can instantly do. So I'm seeing that 1 and... it's the same, isn't it? So there is a bit of symmetry here. 1 and 9 in boxes 1 and 9 have to be not on the thermometers. I mean, this is the most basic rule or basic trick of Thermo Sudoku. Is if you have a 1, the only place you can put it on a thermometer is obviously in the bulb end, because if you put it halfway up the thermometer, that implies you could put a 0 below the 1, and you obviously can't. Same with 9. If you put a 9 halfway up the thermometer, it implies you can put a 10 into the tip of the thermometer, or 10 or higher, and you clearly can't. So that's something we've noticed. Now I'm not seeing much else. Looks like there's trying to be something in the middle column, doesn't it? 4, 5, 6... Yeah, I mean, if this digit is 4 or 5, then you get a 4, 5, 6 triple immediately. And this square would be a 7, and that would be an 8, 9 pair. But I mean, this doesn't have to be 4 or 5. I'm just noticing the effect of that. I suppose, actually, it's the same if that's a... Oh, yeah, it's symmetrical. If that's a 5 or a 6, then that's forced to be a 3, because there'll be a 5, 6... 4, 5, 6 triple the other way. I'm wondering if it's something like, that's not, I mean, it's probably not this, but where, you can think about where this digit goes in this box, because it can't go earlier on its own thermometer. That would definitely not obey the rules of thermometers, and it can't go in any of those other squares. So green is in one of 3 positions. It doesn't quite work the same way for this digit, because this digit could be on this thermometer if this was 6 and this was 6. But it'll be something like that. Like, where does this digit go in this box? Both of these digits have to be in those squares, but they could be 1 and 9, so that's probably, again, that... yeah, okay, here's something. Where does that digit go in column 9? And the answer is, we don't quite know, but it is very restricted, because it's so low it can't go towards the end of this bottom thermometer. So that digit goes in one of those 2 squares. Oh, no, I was about to say, and where does this one go? But that one is very annoying, because that could be a 4. And if it was a 4, it could go in the corner. But if it's not a 4, then it would go in one of those squares, because it obviously couldn't go along those squares, which are too high. So, does that work? It sort of works the other way, doesn't it? In fact, let's make that blue. Yeah, so that digit is in one of those squares by the same sort of logic. And there is a lot of symmetry. The only way that this digit is not in this domino is if it is a 6 and it sits in the corner. I mean, if it was a 6, this would be 6, 7, 8, 9. That would be 6, 7, 8, 9. That would be 6, 7, 8, 9. And that would be a 1. There's a lot that happens there if that's a 6. Well, no, that's not strictly true. That's only if it's a 6 and it goes there. It could be a 6 and still go here. So sorry, I realise I'm just corpsing there. I was thinking about these digits as a set. They are almost, again, it's this it's the possibility that this digit is the same as yellow that's annoying. Because if this digit and yellow were not the same, let's just take a quick look at what colour shall I use? Orange. Yeah, that's fine. So if these are orange, and orange and yellow are not, that have no overlaps, then look, those are all the orange digits. Because, I mean, we can't overlap orange with a 7, 8 or 9. It's not an option. The problem is this could be orange. But otherwise, orange goes in those squares. And right, okay, so, well, that would be interesting as well. Because if orange, I'm not saying this is true, but if orange is in these 4 squares, look at that. Look at these squares. They are a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sextuplet in the bottom row. And these would be 7, 8, 9. Which feels like it's trying to tell us something, doesn't it? Oh, wait, hang on a moment. That doesn't work, does it? Hang on. Hang on. What I did in my head there, I didn't think worked, and now I can't reproduce it. Why? I feel like I've got far too many high digits in row 1. No, maybe it's fine. No, it's not fine. It's definitely... No, it's definitely not fine. Right. This is really peculiar, but it's actually very beautiful, I think. This digit. It's to do with this, it's sort of to do with yellow and orange and whether they can be the same. But if I force them to be different, if I force this digit to not be this digit by making this too low to be this digit. So if I make this lower than 6, now the world, I think, falls apart. But I might be wrong about this. I am wrong. Oh, bother. I am wrong. No. Okay, sorry, there's definitely some tension here, but it doesn't break. Because what I was thinking is, if these 4 were from the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then they can't overlap with the end of this hook. So they have to go in those squares. Let me just show you what I was seeing. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now look at this bottom row. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are a quintuple now in those squares. But what that does is it makes that a 6. And that makes this thermometer 6, 7, 8, 9. You can see where this is going, because now look up here. Where do you put 6, 7, 8, and 9? And the answer is in those squares. And I thought this broke, but it doesn't. Because I thought I had too many high digits in row 1. But although I have got a quadruple there, this could be a 4, 5 pair. It's the only way it could work. That is a quadruple on 6, 7, 8, 9. This square would have to be a 5. This square would have to be a 4. Oh, but wait a minute now. If that's 4, then this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So, that becomes a 5. No, that's okay. It's really close to breaking, but it does. Well, okay. Now I can break it slightly. Okay, here is a very, very small point, but I'm going to make it. This square here. Oh, that's weird though. Well, I was going to say it can't be 5. Because if it's 5, then I have got a problem, because this square can't exist. If this is 5, let me just show you. If this is 5, or everything else follows. Orange is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 again. This square is a 6. These are 6, 7, 8, 9 again. But now I have got too many high digits in row 1. I can't put 1, 2, 3 and 4 in because this square is being pushed up too high and can't actually exist at all. Because these will be 6, 7, 8, 9 and that's meant to be a 6, 7, 8 or 9 because it has to be higher than 5. So, alright, let's just unwind this because it's complicated and it doesn't look like it's actually... Well, hang on. What are we saying? Are we saying this can't be 5? I think we are saying that. If that's 5, that's exactly what we've just been looking at. It just doesn't work because it pushes this digit up too high. That's so weird, but it could be. This is the thing that I'm finding very strange. It could be 4. Because then there is enough space, because that's 4 and that's 5 and it still works. But is it symmetrical in the sense that if this is 6, so sorry, and now I'm changing tack. I'm going horizontally now. So if we look horizontally and we make these purple, then there is the possibility that this digit is that. But if it, let's say it isn't, then purple would go in those squares. These squares, well, then it depends, doesn't it? I mean, if this is 6... then I've got a quadruple there, and these have to be 4 and 5. I'm on the verge of understanding this. I just haven't quite got it. I'm sorry if you can see how it works, and you're getting cross with me. I fear people might be getting cross with me. Because I feel like this is very, very constrained. If that's 4, well, yeah, see, if it's 4 and it doesn't go there, then I get a 1, 2, 3 triple, which is probably okay. Although that would give me a 1, 2, 3 triple in row 4. I'm not sure, actually. I'm not sure this is what I'm meant to do. Sorry, I was thinking that there was... Well, there is a lot of symmetry. So, okay, maybe what we've got to do is to try the same thing here. Oh, hang on. Are we saying that there is a 6 in the corner? Is that what we're saying? Yes. Yes, that's got to be right. I'm happy with that. That there is a 6. One of these is a 6. Now that must be quite interesting. That means there's definitely a 9 in one of those two squares. And the reason I think there must be a 6 in a corner is... Let's imagine that this isn't a 6, because it's either a 6 and there is a 6 in one of these corners, or this is a 4. But if this is a 4, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple. Those are a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple. That is a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple, and this is a 5, and that's a 6. So there's a 6 in the other corner. So one of these is a 6. Which is interesting, isn't it? But that actually wasn't the first thought I was going to work on there. The other thought I was having was whether this works symmetrically with this in terms of... Well, so if I make it so that this digit... I'm not sure how best to think about this. I'm sorry. I don't know whether to try and work it along the row here into this box, or up the column here into this box. They're both under tension of a sort of slightly similar ilk. Yeah, I think it does work symmetrically, in the sense that if this square, if that's 5, this is 6. Yeah, it's the same. Ah, okay, so perhaps the point is more general. Perhaps the point is simply that these squares, neither of the corner cannot be a 5. Because if this is a 5, we run into exactly the same problem in reverse, in the sense that these digits now have to go in these squares in box 7, which means that here we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quintuple. This is a 6 in the corner, which means this is 6, 7, 8, 9. Those go into those squares, and now we have a problem in column 9 where I've got too many high digits, because these are from 6, 7, 8, 9. These are all bigger than 5 as well, and there's nowhere in the column for 1, 2, 3, and 4. It won't work. So in fact, the point might be that that is not a 5. Now, I'm not sure. There might be a reason these have to be different. If they were, yeah, they can't both be 6, can they? That's, yes. Okay, there's a limit. Maybe this is how I was meant to think about it as well. There's a limited number of possibilities of overlaps between these two stretches of digits. Because if these are both 6, yes, and it works symmetrically with, okay. Yeah, because if these are both 6 in the corner, then purple are the same sets of digits, and you have to put 6, 7, 8, 9 into those two squares in box 3. Whereas if these are both 4, you get 1, 2, 3, 4 here, 1, 2, 3, 4 there, and you get the same problem. You have to put 1, 2, 3, and 4 into just 2 cells of box 7. So there's sort of a pincer thing coming on. So that means that these two digits, these two digits in the corners are different digits. And I don't know what that means, but it means something. I'm sure it means something. Now. Oh dear. What does it mean? Is it obvious? I mean, how is this ever going to get resolved? One of these is 4, one of these is 6. So how can I generically deduce something? So if this was 4, this would be 1. That would be 6, and this would be 9. And that would be not 9. And that would run all the way down the thermo, because if that's not 9, this isn't 8. So this isn't 3. Might be fine, I don't know. And if that's 6, then that's 9. This is 4, this is 1. That feels less constrained. But maybe that's just, that would be, yes. Okay, so here's a tiny point, and I think actually it's probably only tiny. Because one of these is a 4, one of these is a 3. That must be right, mustn't it? And if one of those is a 3, that digit cannot be a 3. So that is not a 3. And the problem is that doesn't really take any pressure off this bulb at all. So is it going to be the same? Are there any other cells that see both? You know, for example, this cell couldn't be a 9. That cell couldn't be a 9 because one of these is a 9. One of these is an 8. One of these is a 7. So I suppose, okay, so the corner digit here, it sees a 4, 6 pair, and it sees 7, 8 and 9, doesn't it? So that corner digit is 1, 2, 3. It sees 6, 7, 8, 9 and 4, so it's 1, 2, 3 or 5. Oh, bobbins, I don't know. Okay. I haven't really used the hooks at all, which is a bit strange. Am I missing a trick there? If that can't be 5, one of these is a 1. Sorry if it's obvious what's going on here. It could well be. I mean, if this is a 9, I can see it's putting downward pressure on this, but that's already had a bit of downward pressure put on it. If this is a 9, this is a 1. That's right, isn't it? That's the way that the ordering works. And if this is a 9, this is a 1. So if this is a 1, this one goes up. One, 2, 3, 4. This would become 5. This would become 6. I don't know. It's strange. It's strange, isn't it? How do we do this? Is it... Oh, dearie me, this is tricky. It's something to do, I think, with how much overlap there is between these strings of digits. I know these are different. I mean, if that was... The other thing is you can probably crack this fairly easily by sorry, I realise I've stopped talking. I'm trying to see how this works. You can probably crack this fairly easily by bifurcating, because I can't see how to resolve which way round this 4, 6 thing goes. I know one of these is a 1. That's not a 1. One of these is a 3, which I've already used that. That seemed to be the only real deduction. Okay, is that right? Oh, maybe I just didn't go to the right place on the thermo. One of these is a 2, and they do see that one. So that cannot be a 2. Now, if that can't be a 2, that can't be a... no. If that can't be a 2, that can't be a 3, that can't be a 4, that can't be a 5, that can't be a 6, and that can't be a 7. So that has done something. That's fascinating. Because all of a sudden this thermometer has become far more constrained. So this digit is quite a high digit. Feels the other thing that feels under pressure is that those 4 digits have to be different. Yeah, that's interesting as well. This square is under pressure, isn't it? This middle square. Hang on, there is something going on here. This square sees... Oh, I don't know if that's true. That's close to being true, you know. Well, no. It's very nearly true, but not quite true enough. I was trying to see... I mean, this digit's interesting because it sees a whopping great section of the hooks. And I was wondering whether I could argue that this section of the hooks that's seen, whether those digits all had to be different digits. But I don't think that's true. It's very close to being true, having said that. It's very close to being true. But, oh wait, no, it is true. No, it is true. I'm going to claim it is true now. Because the only way I could see there could be a repeat was for these two to be both 4s, but they can't both be 4s. They're on the thermometer together. Hang on then. Hang on. So these, right, these 5 digits are definitely different. And these digits, there's like, yeah, it's like there's a hidden thermo here, isn't it? In the sense that this is the lowest digit, and then it goes up to this digit. And then this digit, I mean, I suppose one way of seeing it is that this can't be a 5-6 pair anymore, can it? So if you make that 5, this has to be 6, and that's going to break this square. So this can't be 5. And now, well now even if this doesn't form an absolutely perfect virtual thermometer, in the sense that this digit could perhaps be, well, it's hard actually to see how this could work. But that could perhaps be 6, that could be 5, and that could be 7. That's possible, in the sense that you don't just run up this thermometer and then continue going up into that thermometer. You could step down. But the point is that these 5 digits are all definitely different. The only one, this obviously cannot be the same as any of these. I hope that's very clear. That's a 1, 2 or a 3. It clearly cannot be the same as any of those. It shares a box with this one. So that's different again. These two are too massive to have any overlap. This can't be the same as this. And this can't be the same as this because they're on the same thermometer. So this is a 9-cell extra region of the puzzle. And that digit could be anything. It could be anything. Oh, sorry. Absolutely, that's really upsetting. I thought that was quite an intelligent thing, but no. Golly gosh. Okay. Well, I mean, this is an extra region, so once we get anything in there, it will be helpful. I was going to say, does that... Oh, it means in the extra region, 1 is in one of 2 places. 2, no. Oh, you can't do anything. It just doesn't quite work. 5, okay, it is true to say 5 is in the column. And 6 is in this column. So 5 and 6 are in that string. Sorry. Right, no, that's hopeless as well. Oh dear, dear, dear. Right, okay, so we've got to think about something else. And that something is going to be Oh, I don't know. It's gonna. Are we going to have to go back and think about these again? I don't think I fully understood how these worked. And I've got this 4-6 dichotomy between these two squares. And in the case where you get a 6, it causes a 7, 8, 9 at the end of the thermo. So if this was 6, 7, 8, 9, these are 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a 5, that's a 4, that's a 3, that's a 2, that's a 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. So 4, 3, 2, 1 go here. That becomes a 5. And where do we start? Did we start with that being a 6? I think we did. And it works exactly the same way the other way round, I think. So if that's true, and I think it's true, how do we ever disambiguate it? It must be the hooks in the middle. And if it's the hooks in the middle, what is it about the hooks that is giving me, that's creating the tensions? I wish I could see it, but I'm failing to see it. 2, 3, 4. If this is 4, these squares are orange, aren't they? They are definitely then orange. This is 5. This is 6, 7, 8, 9. That would actually, if that's 9, that forces this thermometer, because that would be 8, 7, 6, 5. Oh, ouch. Right, that doesn't work. Wow. Okay, this is very, very complicated and hard to see, but it doesn't work. That's amazing. Yeah, right. Okay. Okay, prepare for mind-blowingness. If there's an easier way of seeing this, then I'd love to know. Okay, but this is the way I've seen why it doesn't work for this to be a 9. And this is called, this has to be a 9 if this is a 6, okay? So, we're in a world where we put 6 here and we put 4 there because we know they're not the same. Now, the point here is that becomes a 1, and that's going to put a lot of pressure, unlivable pressure, on this row 4, column 4. Because if this is 6, now this is a 9. Now, what's this digit here? This is 8, this is 7, this is 6, this is 5. And if this is 6 and this is 5, what's that digit? And the answer is 4. And what's this digit in the bulb of this thermometer now? And the answer is it can only be 1, because this thermometer can only go 4, 3, 2, 1. And you get a clash of 1s. That is very hard, and it's super clever. It's super clever. Not of me, I hasten to add. It's not clever of me at all, but Blashyrkh, to design this sort of thing. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But that's beautiful now, because now we can do that, and that's going to make things easier, because this is 6, 7, 8, 9. Therefore, this is 6, 7, 8, 9. Therefore, this is now 5. This is 3, 2, 1. Now, so now I'm going to get rid of my orange because I'm not sure if it's valid. But this being 1, 2, 3, 4 means these squares are 1, 2, 3, 4, which means this is 1, 2, 3, 4. It means that is 5. This is 4 by Sudoku of all things. This is 3 by Sudoku. I mean, it's outrageous when I'm made to do this Sudoku in these Sudoku puzzles. But now, what does that mean? This is a 1 or a 2 pair. So these two squares are a 4, 5 pair. This is a 1, 2, 3 triple. There's a fly buzzing round. I don't like flies. These are a 1, 2, 3. That's a 1, 2, 3 triple in this row. 7, 8, 9. Got 7, 8, 9 triples over here. Now, what else can we do then? We can... Oh, I don't know. These two digits now are those squares, aren't they? In row 9, those two digits have to go there. Which feels like it might do something. What about... Oh, I don't know. Naughty puzzle. There's a 3 in one of these. Ah, okay, here's something. Right, there's a 7, 8, 9 triple in row 5. Now that is interesting for the middle digit. Because, well, it's sort of. The middle digit is now has a lot of options, but not the digit 7, 8, 9. Now let's go back to looking at light green. Now light green, I claimed earlier, was an extra region of the puzzle, and I still think that's true. And therefore, as it has to contain 9 different digits, which digit is the 9 in this extra region? Well, it's that one. Which digit is the 8? Well, it's that one. Which digit? So that's become a 7. That's useful. And that, I think, has to be the 7 in my extra region. How can that not do anything? Really, how can it? That's not 9 anymore, so that's not 8 anymore. So 9, 8, 7. 6 is in one of those 3. The 5 is in one of those 3. The 4 is in one of those 3. That's not useful. Okay. So we now know... No, we don't. No, what I was about to say was absolutely not true. Therefore, I will refrain from saying it. Okay. So from here, what do we do? Well, 9, okay, 9 in this column is up at the top there. So these squares are not 9. 9 is not here. So 9 is in this domino. Okay, we're still very much not there, are we? Though that square is not 5, I've just noticed. And that is on the thermo. So how could this be 6 now? It can't. How could this be 7? It can't. This, that's a naked single. That's become a 7. So that's got to be a 6, which means that's not a 6. Is that doing it? Come on. Come on, naughty puzzle. How is that helping? I don't know. Oh, that was exciting for a moment. Well, okay. Oh, yeah, look in this box now. That is a 5, 6 pair, I think. Just by Sudoku. So these are from 7, 8 and 9. Right, so this is the only place for 7 in the bottom row. That's a 7 by Sudoku in box 2. Wow, come on. That could be really exciting, maybe. Okay, no, I'm going to go back here. Where's the... Oh, no, the one still has 2 places in my extra region, I'm afraid. So that wasn't an intelligent thought. No, okay. What about 7s? 9. Oh, nearly. 9 in this column is a bit restricted. It's one of 2 places. Oh dear. That digit is the same as that digit. It's the same as that digit. It's the same as that digit. Golly gosh, this is not easy. It's not an easy puzzle, I don't think. I'm coming to that conclusion. I hope I'm not wrong. What could we do next? 6 is 5. 5 is in one of those 3 squares. If I could limit this middle digit, I'd feel better about the world. I really would. But I don't see how to do it. 6 is in one of those squares. Oh, nearly. 1 in this column is a little restricted, isn't it? 5, 6. Is there some sort of Sudoku? Oh, that square's not a 1. Let's try that. 2, 3, 5, 6, 9. 2, 3. Wow. Okay, that digit is restricted. That's only 2 or 3 according to my quick trot through the digits in my brain. I'm going to look at this again. In this column, I've got 1, 4, 7 and 8, so I'm looking to place 2, 3, 5, 6 and 9. Now that square does see 5 and 6, and I have got a pencil mark 9 here, which might be invalid. Why did I get that from? No, that's true in the column. So this is 2 or 3, that's 2 or 3, and now these squares are 5, 6 and 9. Now does that do anything, I hear you ask, and I don't know the answer to that. Well, yes, it does something, because the 6 in this column is now in one of those squares. Now that takes 6 out of this square, and now in my extra region the 6 goes there, and that makes that an 8 and that a 9. So these are not 8, 9. This is a 6, 7 pair. 9 is now not in these squares anymore. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple. I'm definitely pencil marking it. That's how desperate I've become. Okay. Is this good? Or is it not good? Don't know yet. It's done something, but it's still... Oh, I've got a 6, 7 pair in column 9, so that becomes an 8. So, oh, I can get 8 in row 4. Now I can get 8 and 9 in box 7. Now, that might be good. That's now a 5. Right, that's useful. So I've now got a 6, 9 pair in box 5. There's an awful lot of noise from some very angry bird going on outside. I'm not sure which angry bird it is, but if you've ever played Angry Birds, you'll be able to advise me. Right, that's 9 and that's 6 now. Okay, good. This square seems to have a lot of options. That's a 4. Okay, so remember this is an extra region, so now we can do some tidying up. That's become a 2. So that's no... yeah, that can't be 2 or 3. That is 1. Oh, and don't tell me we got a 5 in the middle of the grid, which is always the way. It's always the way in these variant Sudoku puzzles. You almost always get a 5 in the middle of the grid, and that's now a 4. Okay, this is now a 3. So we've got a 1, 2, 4 triple. Now these squares should be known then. They are 3 and 5. Bother. This square's a 2, so that's a 1, that's a 3. This square, these are 5 and 8, we can do that. Oh no, I messed it up. Because I haven't got anywhere. Oh, hang on, this 3, 5 pair was wrong. I was just thinking this doesn't seem to work. But that's because I pencil marked these as 3, 5, and you can see I've already got a 5 here. So this, I should have said 3 and 9, and I actually could have resolved that. That's a 2, that's a 1, that's still valid, that's 3. So hopefully now we'll be back on track. That's still 5, that still seems to be 8, that's 9. Now in this box down here we need 2 and we need 8. So the central 3 columns might now be done. Ah, but if this is 2 or 3, this can't be 2. Sorry, that's probably been available for ages, and I just haven't focused on that digit. What's that? Why have I got 2 5s in this row now? What's going on? How did I do? I'm so sorry. I'm obviously getting tired. What did I do there? Well, that's right. I do need to put 5 in here. So I must have gone wrong earlier. Yeah, look, I can't put 3 in the top row. I've really gone awry. I've got 2 3s, I've just noticed. Oh, okay. Look. Yeah, we've got to trot through until we get here, because this pencil marking of this row is nonsense. These squares are, I'm going to just delete them all. They are 1, 2, 4 and 5. And that's obviously not 1, and that's obviously not 2. In fact, it is a 4 now. This square is a 5 now. These 2 squares are 3 and 9. They're still resolved. And let's just... Okay, so now I don't get this digit, unfortunately. But what about this column? This is now the 3 in this column. That's an 8. Therefore, that's 2. Unwinds in totally the other way. This is a 1, 2 pair. Oh, don't tell me that's an 8, 9 pair. Yes, of course. Okay, so I don't think I used this pencil mark for anything. So I think all of the logic was fine. It was just I mis-pencil marked those 3 cells. And I apologise if you've been cross with me about that. But I will, in my defence, and it's not a very good defence to be honest, say this is quite a complicated puzzle. And I was confused. Now, let's go there. Now, does this resolve is the question we're left with. Oh, I don't know the answer to that. We could... No, I don't know. 1, 3, 4, 6. That's a 1 or a 6 by Sudoku. It sees a 3, 4 pair. Is it thermos or is it just Sudoku at this point? It's probably just Sudoku. 1, 8, 9 into these squares. That's not able to be 8. That's not able to be 9. Can I get that digit? No, I can't. What about... Okay, let's try this digit. That's 1, 2 or 5. No. Oh no. Okay, let's try row 4 then, where we need 4, 5 and 6. It just isn't resolving. This is really strange. Have I not used a thermometer or something? Oh, there's a 1, 2 pair in this column. So I have to put 3 into this column somewhere. I can now see that goes there. And that seems to indicate this becomes a 4. And that 3 means this is a 2. Which means that's a 3, that's a 1, that's a 2 in the corner, that's a 1, that's a 2. That's a 1 on the thermo, so that's a 9. 9, 8, 1 into these squares. Now, what are those 2 digits then? Oh, those 3 digits, I suppose. 6, 7 and 8. So the only place 8 can go is here. And down this column, we've got 4, 5, 6 and 7. This is 5 or 7. So that's a 5, 6, 7 triple. And the only place for 4 in the column seems to be here. So that's nice. That's finishing a few more digits, isn't it? And now these squares are 2 and 4. So we've got 1, 5 and 6 to place. The 6 must go here by Sudoku. 65511212, and that is going to finish this very, very clever puzzle. Good grief, is it right? Yes. Wow. Wow. Well, that is how to construct a Thermo Sudoku with just 4 thermos in it, and not even 4 of the longest thermos, 4 length 7 thermos. That's remarkable. The whole idea around this sort of perimeter thing is bizarre. It is so strange that these 2 squares have to be 4 and 6. That is really, really weird. And then, well, then the biggest problem I had was working out which way round they went, and that related to the hooks. And there was that really tricky thing, at least I thought it was tricky, where these 2 digits became the same if you did it one way round. Don't ask me to remember which way round that was. That is a quality puzzle, and that would be, in terms of our app, that would definitely be sort of puzzle 96, 97, 98 or 99 or 100 in terms of the difficulty. That is right up there. Do let me know whether you had a go at this and how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and especially when they give these constructors a great deal of credit. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.